what surprised me is the magic of acupressure. Once we stayed in Lemeshan, that's a very famous Buddhist mountain, because many people visited that places, okay? And once about 20 or 30 people from one village, after we treated one of them well, then all of them stayed. It's okay. Even if in the hospital we couldn't get this kind of healing effect, we'd rather stay here. So they all stay there. It's like having a holiday. So we were very busy, acupuncture, acupressure. At that time, by the way, because I make the story short, learn bone setting and the stretching. This is all natural therapies. So it worked very well. We can treat more than 100 people per day. But at that time, I still teamed up with my teacher. 1 month later, I began my independent mission. I went to Tibet, lived in a monastery. But at that time, I went to Tibet not because of healing, because a Hong Kong friend invited me to go there to visit a very famous monk. But then monk said, we heard that you could do the healing job. We have a lot of patients here. So in day one, I treated probably 2 or 3. But the next morning when I got up, the monastery was surrounded by hundreds of people. Wow. So they all lined up. Wow. So, so my total mission kind of shifted. So from about 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight, every day. But my capacity or the capability was limited. I could treat only about 100 per day. Beyond that, it's too much. So they would give the quotas, 100 numbers. So in 2 weeks, I treated about 1,600 people. I wouldn't say 100%, but 90% of them have great healing effect, because the Tibetan people mostly have the pain problems. You know, the lower back pain, knee pain, frozen shoulders, and headache. I was totally fascinated by the Tibetan culture and the Buddhist culture, because long time ago, 20 years ago, I worked in Tibet for a year, working for the government at that time. So I was always have been fascinated by the Tibetan culture. I wanted to help them, but I don't know how. So this is the best way I could find. So after the Tibetan trip, I went back to Beijing and started my own studio, began to do the healing stuff. Every day, it's just full house, every day. But then I realized the more healing effect you have, the more people are coming. That means it's endless. People would come in and repetitively coming again. That means you can never really heal them, most of them, because if they don't change their lifestyle, way of thinking, it's very hard to stay away from the diseases. And they have a lot of mental problems, stress too. That you cannot do with acupuncture. So another issue is, because I didn't have a license, the more healing effect you have, the more trouble you have. See, they will say this is illegal. I don't want to get into that kind of trouble. But I thought there might be a better way than the acupuncture and the acupressure. What if I could find something better than this, and you can do it without a license, and everyone can do it? So I closed my office and started my journey again, everywhere. Again, this time in Ermei Mountain, I met a Taoist, who is also Master Xiao. Okay, his name is Xiao. And to make the story short, during the conversation, he talked just like this. You know, a few people get to talk about sleeping and how he managed to teach people when they asked them to do it on themselves. And it worked. People just listen, but they don't really, most of them don't really try. But I went home and tried this Paida immediately, because I have a lot of patients. Already used Lajin but not Paida yet. Lajin, everybody can do it. This is much easier than yoga. But for Paida thing, it's too simple, you see. You can learn it in 1 minute. What happened? At the beginning, the most healing effect cases will be knee problem. So I hope we have some knee problem today, or lower back. It worked instantly. So, knee problem, then the frozen shoulders. By the way, 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I went to Taipei. At that time, An Li was shooting the movie, Life of Pi. You know what happened? Because we made a call already before I arrived there. He came all the way from Taichung to Taipei and rent a big house in a hotel. To do what? To do a party. What a party? Paida Lajin party. Invited his brothers, nephews, and friends. And he was the first one to be slapped, to be Paida. Why? Because he has got frozen shoulders. So just like here, like 20 minutes, because mostly they can lift here, and then after doing Paida, just half an hour. It's so easy. Then the next one was his friend from Hong Kong. Actually, the party was for his friend, a movie producer. She got a lower back kind of disc problem. Been treated by many doctors, Chinese, West medical doctors. It didn't work. That's why he called me. This is also a funny story, because the last time we met was the day when Obama was elected president. An Li invited me to have dinner at Chinatown in New York. So that night, I remember very clearly, Obama was elected. So 2 or 3 years later, I got a call from An Li, because at that time, we didn't talk much about healing. But when he went to Taiwan to shoot the movie, many of his friends sent him the book written by me. It's all about healing. I said, how come? What happened? Just in 3 years, you become a healer. What has happened? He said, at the beginning, I couldn't quite believe it. But so many friends who are serious guys, they are not cheating me. Because in the book, there are the photos of An Li and I. So he consulted me about his friend with the lower disc problem. So the second one was his friend. Lower back disc problem. By the way, when she came here, could hardly walk a couple of 100 meters because very painful. So after doing this stretching, Lajin, and then Paida for maybe an hour or so, she began to walk. And I remember very clearly, that day, Taipei was still with the flora, 叫花博会啊. So we visited the flora fair, okay? It's an international fair, big deal. So altogether we walked for like more than 3 hours. Not a problem at all for that lady. But means it really worked. So to cut the story short, this is such a wonderful way I could hardly stay away from, because I could easily teach people to do all by themselves. So I made another trip to Tibet. This time, not with acupressure, because that is called doctor's job. You have to do everything, treat everyone. But this time, it's just all the people meshes together. I just do demonstration, like what I'm doing now. Then they learn how to do it. Then they just do it all by themselves. Like what you did at home in Chicago. You just learned from the YouTube, then you begin to do the job. And recently I received the email and I put it on my blog. It's from a gentleman who just healed his 痔疮, hemorrhoid problem. He got that problem for 22 years. He tried every way, even the surgery, of course, plus Chinese and the Western therapies. Still couldn't work. After doing the Paida Lajin, he said, because everyone, it come every month. Even if you get healed, it's still coming back. He said, this time I waited 9 months. It doesn't come back. So I write to you. So it means it works. Even my mother, who is a doctor, Western medical doctor. She could not heal her own problems. Hypertension, heart disease, kidney problem, eye problem, lower back, knee pains. At the beginning, she couldn't trust me. How could she? She's a doctor. I'm a guy, in the finance area. But ultimately, she just, try. Wanted to have a try. Because many of our mutual friends, she knows, also get healed in my workshop. She took medication for more than 35 years. Every day, all kinds of medicine, tablets. Those doctors, they truly believe in that. They have no other choices. But from the day she attended my workshop, until now it's almost 4 years, she took 0 tablet. But her blood pressure, heart disease, and kidney failure problem all normalized. So when I say, please read my lips, when I say, when you get healed, that means you get healed without any medication. 0. Yeah. Okay. How could that happen? I'm sure this is a big question mark in many of your minds. Okay. To make it simpler, I would explain a few simple logic. If there is a PowerPoint, I could show you those development of how human beings look at their own body. In very old time, it's all a skeleton and the flesh. That's how people look at their own body. You can learn it in medical school. Then in the recent couple of 100 years, people realized more systems. Blood system, nerve system, all kinds of systems. But basically, it's chemical and the biological systems. And that is also why the pharmacy is basically based on chemical and the biological stuff. And that is also why all the medication we're having now has all this kind of side effect. If you move further down, now or even way back, thousands of years ago, in both India and China, China would find another system. It's called meridian system. Well, the Indians call it chakra system. These systems are invisible. You cannot see with your eyes. But in this, not just this world, the whole universe, the invisible is far more important than the visible systems. Look at the sun, moon moving, but can you see the gravity in between? Can you see the tracks on which they move? No. But that is how and why they move. And look at the human being. We can see the face, eyes, but you cannot figure what they think, figure out. You don't know what they think, but it is your thinking that controls your behavior. So the thinking also impossible or invisible. So the meridian system is invisible. Well, in this invisible meridians, we know something is moving inside. In China, we use a simple word, qi. So qi moves in the meridians, right? Simply, if we slap here, you will feel colder or warmer. For sure. Just a few minutes, it's getting warmer. Why? Because the qi comes, right? So the qi moves and qi get together here. So in Chinese, qi is almost equal to life. So when you say, some girls look beautiful, they say, oh, your qi color is good. Qi is so hao. If somebody's is dead, they don't say that he's dead. They say, his qi is gone. Yeah. Or he's almost dead. They say, his qi is almost gone. They always use qi, yeah. So if you have a better qi, then you have a better health, and you can live longer. That is in daily life, in daily expression. So in one word, as long as your qi moves well, you're a healthy person. Otherwise, you're unhealthy. Okay? Well, we have all these strange names about our diseases. Okay? Hypertension, diabetes, thyroid, a lot of different names. But all these different diseases have one thing in common. That is the blockage of meridian. See, let's say we get a mosquito bite. That is what? Blockage of meridian. What if we have a cancer? That is also blockage. High blood pressure, kidney failure, thyroid problem, kidney problem, prostate problem, lower back pain, headache, insomnia, constipation, all blockage of meridians. So, that being the case, the logic is very clear. As long as you can unblock the blockages, you just heal your diseases. How do you know? We can prove it immediately. Of course, for the pain problems, it's always the most efficient. But for the chronic diseases like hypertension, diabetes, or kidney failure,